Hey, hello guys. This is a different kind of video. Just gonna talk basically, and I'm gonna talk about growth, and specifically, I'm gonna talk about my growth in 3D printing. You can relate this to any part of life, honestly. And in terms of 3D printing, I got interested in 3D printing way back in 2015. I think I saw a video of the MakerBots. Those were those wooden 3D framed 3D printers, but it was still early days and they were really quite expensive. So I was like, nah, there's no way I'm gonna get into this now. But in 2017, I had a colleague at work, and he had a Kickstarter project on the side. No, it wasn't even a Kickstarter project. He had finished his Kickstarter project and that was good. So he moved on to something else about drones, and he wanted to 3D print some parts. So he came up to me and said, "Hey, Henry, we have a big space for you to add anything you want to print." I was like, "Oh, wow, I can print. I can give you guys a file and you can print." So I went online, and guess what I asked him to print? It was the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. So after a couple of weeks, he came back and he showed me the print. I was like, wow. At the time, I didn't know what type of print it was, but looking back now, it was resin because it was so good and cool. So fast forward to after the vid 2020, 2021, I was like, okay, you know what? I was doing more research. I was like, I need a new hobby to do because everyone was working from home, and you can get bored after work. You're just playing video games or doing whatever. So I got into 3D printing, and I started out like any other novice, got to understand the types of 3D printers, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go with FDM 3D printers. So that's the one that deposits the layers line by line, and it's less messy, because I was like, there's no way I'm going to go into resin with all the chemicals and stuff involved. It was too messy. Besides, I'm not going to be printing small detailed stuff anyway. So I got into the FDM printers. I got a Monoprice Delta Mini. So that's the one with the three spokes. But I had problems with that, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to go the regular route. There was no way for me to avoid it, so I went to the basic Ender 3. That's the starting place, and I'm glad I did because I learned a lot. It's kind of like when you buy a car, and then you have to, at some point, you have to open the engine and tune stuff up. So I learned a lot about layer lines, about settings, heating, types of filaments, the nozzle changes. I've done multiple nozzle changes. I've actually done I've messed up a couple of things, but then in the process, you learn a lot. So, and the main takeaway from all this is be consistent, and you learn more. If you're interested in something, be consistent. Incremental changes matter a lot, and you might not notice it, but over time you would see that improvement. And I'm going to show a couple of videos after this about my Iron Man prints. I started out with a small one to a medium one, and then to what I've done now. And looking back, I'm like, wow, I actually made this. I learned about types of paints to use, acrylic paints. I learned about dry brushing, and it's all thanks to my interest and multiple forums and resources on YouTube. YouTube is a great place for resources. And so this is just to anyone who's interested in the new hobby. It might be daunting, especially when it comes to tech hobbies, but if you keep your head up, keep at it, you would be good at it, and you'll move on and become an expert. No one is born as an expert. They learn over time. They put in a lot of hours. Like my one of my former bosses used to say. He would say, "Hey, you need to pay your dues," basically. So yeah, I've paid my dues, and I'm still paying more dues because I look at what I'm doing now, and people might say, "Oh, hey, wow, that's an amazing 3D print. How did you do that?" And I'm like, this is not even where I want to be. I see what folks are doing. It's like really high quality, and that's what I aspire to. So this is for anyone out there looking to do something new. Keep at it, be consistent, and growth will come. Enjoy the transition videos.